Hi, boys and girls. Welcome back for Lesson 8, The Wind in the Willows. We are going to be talking today about language and how language helps us understand the story that we're reading a little bit better. So, we have talked about dialogue. What is dialogue? We use quotation marks when we're showing dialogue in our writing and when we're reading. We know it's dialogue when we see the quotation marks. Dialogue is when the characters are talking to one another. The other thing we've talked about is narration. What is narration? That is when the author is just telling the story. The characters are not talking to each other. Narration helps the reader know what the characters are doing. Narration also includes a lot of description to help the reader imagine the plot, which is the events in the story, and the setting where and when the story takes place. Listen to a piece of narration from The Wind in the Willows that we've already heard and think about what we learn about the setting and character and plot of the story. Not long after their adventures in the wild wood, the rat and the mole found themselves plodding silently along a country lane. The rapid nightfall of mid-December had already descended upon them. The mole was thinking of supper as he followed obediently behind the rat, leaving the guidance in the darkness entirely to him. As for the rat, he was walking a little way ahead, as was his habit. He walked steadily with his shoulders humped, his eyes fixed on the straight gray road in front of him. This is why he did not notice poor Mole when suddenly something soft and subtle, carried gently upon the cool night air, caused Mole to stop dead in his tracks. So, boys and girls, what you're going to do in your assignment when you're done watching this video is you're going to underline words or phrases that really help us to understand the story better and help us form that picture in our mind. For example, country lane. We could just say the road, right? But the author chose to use the words country lane to give us a really good picture that it's probably a dirt road, very narrow. Another example is nightfall, and in fact, the rapid nightfall. So we could have just said it was nighttime, but instead, saying the word nightfall gives us a better picture in our mind. Boys and girls, I want you to turn to your assignment now and follow the directions for underlining the parts of this writing that you think create a good picture in our mind.